Is there any greater genre than the revenge-o-matic? A protagonist set upon a course of vengeance that will be stopped at nothing? DadMan and I have accumulated 20 plus films that are our favorite revenge films of all time. DadMan, thank you for joining me. And that was a big genre probably while you were growing up. Was it something that you watched in theaters?
You don't really think of it as a genre.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but I don't think of it as... I mean, I think that's a timeless concept, revenge.
It's just a mode of conflict, is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's what the Greek myths were built upon. Is
not all of them, but
some.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah.
Probably the best, though. Hercules.
Name one. Was that revenge?
Yeah.
That's it.
He had to get revenge a number of times.
But he had to do tasks.
Well, during those tasks, though, he had to get some
Okay,
revenge.
let's just assume that you could be correct.
Yeah, I didn't read them, but I saw people reading them. All right.
I know they exist.
Let me start with one. I'll let you talk about it, but you mentioned you would have it on yours, and I couldn't not have it on mine. It's Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Right.
You got it on your list?
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you talk about it, and I'll jump in as you want me to.
I mean, that's all. It's just revenge. I mean, Uma Thurman, tries to break out of the
grave. Well, at the hospital, and then a grave.
No, break out of the group.
Oh, yeah.
Assassins group or whatever. And because of that, David Carradine comes and murders her soon-to-be husband and everybody in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I mean, that just starts off the whole succession of what's going to happen over two different films.
So I think the revenge-o-matic, I think, is like a...
is that a term?
Yeah, I think it's for probably the 60s and the 70s specifically. They weren't your big budget films.
Yeah.
It was basically like you had to sell them on the premise of the movie rather than the star power of the actors or the director, whatever, and it was like you want to see because it's like, oh man, this guy's it's almost like pro wrestling to an extent,
Passion play.
Yeah. You see a trailer and you're like, oh, that guy got dicked over and he's gonna get back at him.
I can't wait for him to do it.
Yeah, and I honestly haven't seen much. There's maybe one on my list that could have been part of that, and it's one of the classic or really, really well done examples. But there's probably like, how horror, there's a ton of shit ones for every one good one.
Yeah.
That is probably the case there. I'm sure there's a lot of tropes within that very specific subgenre that are shown in Kill Bill. It's a mixture of samurai too, which a lot of samurai films also do have that revenge take.
Yeah.
But like the being a buried alive, that kind of feels like it has a Western influence to it, But basically it's just really cool that it has like a video game aspect in that she has to make her way to the final boss.
Yeah. She's fighting her way through Mortal Kombat to the
big bad.
Yeah.
To Goro.
Yeah. The chick with 6 arms or 4 arms or something.
Well, there is a chick, but Goro's a guy.
Okay. That's what I meant.
Shiva is the girl with 6 arms and 4 arms.
Okay.
Hit me with your next one.
This is one. Now I like, you like Japanese films and stuff.
Love them.
So this was done. Originally as a Japanese film, and they did an American version of it. And I like the American version a lot better. It's a great, really good revenge movie. It's called Oldboy.
So that's not Japanese. South Korean
Did I say Japanese? It's South Korean
originally,
and then they remade it. And the remake.
Who directs the remake? I know it's a big name actor. You would know though.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on my list.
Did you have Oldboy?
I have the original Oldboy.
Oh, the remake is great.
Yeah, who directs the remake?
I just told you I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? I think he's...
Okay, I'm kidding because you've talked about that movie.
Sorry,
I haven't
guys.
seen any of them. One that goes back into the 70s is one called Death Wish.
Yeah, if I had saw that, I probably would have put it on my list too.
It
Is that like the lead dude? Is it Charles Bronson?
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool actor in the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, he always plays a badass.
Yeah.
Real badass. Got a really mean-looking face. But, there probably were, revenge films all the time. And definitely, I'm sure there were before that. But I kind of recall that as being, when that came out, when I watched it, it was just pure, revenge.
Well, that's like the poster
like
child of the revenge-o-matic,
Yeah.
I would have to say.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's weird about that movie, the first one, Death Wish, for people who like really obscure facts. Jeff Goldblum was actually in that movie.
Like a lot or a little?
He's a very small part. Because it's happening, stuff that happens on the subway, and like in and around the subway station, and there's these kids on roller skates that are like harass people and stuff like that. And I don't know if he kills them or not, but Jeff Goldblum's one of them.
Oh shit! So young Goldblum.
Oh my God, yes, yeah, he's probably.
That's pretty cool. I want to watch that film at some point, if for nothing else than just to see,
Jeff
Goldblum get killed, but in a movie. Did you see any of the sequels to that? Because I know they made a shit ton.
Yeah, that's one of the first movies that I remember like them churning out sequels to.
You're probably right, because I think that it was started in the 70s, and that was not the sequel time period by any means.
Right.
You did beat me to the punch on the next one I was going to go over, and it was Oldboy. And let me just tell you, so this is the beauty of it and why I would recommend it. And I know you guys, I don't want to spoil it for you. So if you haven't seen Oldboy, the poster of the movie's up. The entirety of the time we're going to be talking about it, just skip to the next poster. With Oldboy, you're following a central character that you think...
I brought it up as a joke. I didn't think you were going to talk about it.
I am, because it is... Not only is it a 5-star movie, it is one of the best revenge movies of all time, and I'm telling you why. The main guy you think is the protagonist, and you think we're following his revenge plot, and it turns out the revenge plot for the entire is against him the whole movie. And you only know that because of the way I was speaking and because I've told you before.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. And I really,
okay,
really
so it's
like
a good turn or whatever. Or
well, the whole thing's good. The whole thing's good.
Okay, I take your word for it. Like, no one's going to watch
if you can... You read, or did read. I don't know if you can still read anymore.
No.
It's subtitles. And one of our commenters, and this is actually, I'm going to bring up another comment, but I'm going to be on your side on this one.
You're making fun of my accent?
Yeah, but on top of that, they say a lot of people probably don't watch foreign movies because you have to pay attention the whole time. Yes or yes? Because if you're not reading the subtitles
you do.
the
Yeah,
whole time,
I mean, yeah, you got to be completely focused on it. Yeah. That's not... That may be a minor reason, but it's
because
true.
it's not quality. It's not quality. You can't say foreign movies aren't good. They have been for a long time.
Only for the last couple of years.
All right, here's the one, and I don't even. All right, K. Freckman, and I'm not getting hot at you. I already replied online. He said, you really need to die. This was on the odd movies we did. 10 weird movies.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to dive deeper into cinema. Matrix, seriously, try Beyond the Black Rainbow, Santa Sagria, which I don't think you got the name of that movie right, or any Japanese splatterpunk films. I started to watch one Japanese splatterpunk film. I need to finish it. Got pulled away. It was during work hours, in my defense, so I had to stop watching it.
Yeah.
Did you not see my list? I thought would you not agree some of the movies I picked were really weird? Really obscure?
I think you think I remember your list. I don't.
Well, I remember my list, and they were.
Well, name two that...
The really obscure one was probably the first one. I'm going to look up the title.
You don't remember it. You just said I remember my list. Let me just look to refresh my memory.
It's called Birds, Orphans, and Fools. And
everybody knows that movie. That's common.
And that's Fateful Findings.
Okay, whatever. So
those are pretty obscure. Guess how many views Birds, Orphans, and Fools has on Letterboxd? 4.3 thousand. Then Fateful Findings might be more. 35,000.
Oh, like we didn't go to Film Underground to find the odd movies. I mean, we're talking wide release.
I did see one.
Granted, Matrix 2 and 3 were awful. They were horrid. But the first Matrix...
You were looking at it I kind of fucked you over in the way I interpreted the prompt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also titled the video to support my interpretation.
What was your...
I said the 10 weirdest movies of all time.
Well, I think I misinterpreted.
10 weird, odd movies, but I think what you meant was like...
Twist.
Yeah, twists or plot devices. Like the 10 most interesting plot devices.
Okay, well... Yeah,
you're
right.
It was
I did.
Incongruous.
Right. Incongruent.
Incongruent. And that's my bad.
No, I misinterpreted Strange, because I don't know if I've seen a lot of...
I kind of figured you probably haven't either. I don't know if you would watch it if it started out strange. I don't think you would finish a movie that's...
I mean, if I'm entertained, I like strange stuff, but it does have to be... It just can't... look weird. I could get a video camera and do weird, okay? But it's not entertaining.
I would pay money for that.
But, you know what I mean? That's not necessarily makes a movie, you know? But I would like to see some just odd movies, and I guess I really haven't watched many, and I can't really think of any that I would. But I should.
Well, we'll make you start. You would probably put like a Gire, The Wrath of God.
Yeah, I would. You don't think that's odd?
It's like entry level weird. You know.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, to me, it's slightly more than that, but not a whole lot more. It's just he was so fucking... The way he walked and just... Nothing made sense. Well, I knew what they were doing, so I shouldn't say that. But... And there was a purpose in it, and it really happened. And it makes sense. It's people looking for gold. He wants to establish a whatever.
Yeah. It is hard to put your finger on why it does come across so weird.
Yeah. It's just... Sometimes you don't know why certain things are happening. You can, afterwards, okay, I understand. It wasn't that weird. It's just, there's lack of dialogue, I think.
Yeah.
But, weird in a decent way, in a good way that I can... I guess any weird movie I'd watch, I would just end up just criticizing the shit out of it. Just for fun, make fun of it.
Well, that's what... Once we start making money, boys and girls, that's what you have to look forward to, is we can make Dad watch those movies, so...
Yeah, you could pay me to watch movies, I swear.
He'll watch them. Yeah. And
doesn't even have to be that much, either.
I will find some good ones to make him watch.
Okay.
Let me hear your next one.
Oh, I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I know the premise.
Oh, now I may be confused. I don't think I am. I think is the one I'm thinking of.
Well, because
This
there's
woman is
Graped.
raped by
There's one
four
called
men.
Last House on the Left, which also too is very
You know
similar,
what?
right?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't
Last
seen
House
either,
on the Left.
but
Yeah,
they're like the same movie, maybe, or about.
very similar. I watched them both. I liked them both. But Last House on the Left is a remake because I think the first one was almost a porn movie.
Ah, I did not know that.
But I could be wrong about that. But then I Spit on Your Grave, like, so she gets assaulted, and they kill her, and her
Not her.
boyfriend's
Oh,
looking for her.
really? The girl who gets?
Yeah, she's dead.
Oh.
It's her spirit or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But she's in comes back in physical form somehow, and her boyfriend's looking for her, which is almost like a pointless part of the movie because he doesn't really interact with anybody, and she just it's raw, good raw. Like-
Well, Last House on the Left. Not to get away from my Spit on Your Grave again, but that is Wes Craven.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He
It's
puts his head in a microwave. I kid you not.
It would never work, but if you could do it, that would be a cool.
Yeah,
kill.
and somehow I think they even did explain that he made it so it would work with the door open.
Well, you could just
It was very
if you know how to
displeased with
do
this
that with microwaves, you could just put the microwave on while they're out.
Well, he wanted his head.
And
He
it
wanted
would
to
erase
see
it.
their eyes explode. I believe.
I
Or
might have to
shrivel
watch
up.
that. I am a gore hound, as you know.
Well, Wes Craven, I love.
He's good. I'm gonna not spend too much time on this next one because I know DadMan doesn't want to hear too much about it. Carrie, amazing script, humming, just keeps momentum, never loses it, and the main guy is ultra badass. So I'll throw it back to you.
Oh, okay. Boy, that was fast. Believe it or not, Gladiator was a revenge movie.
Yeah. Do you remember the plot? Because I obviously have seen The Gladiator and I saw that on lists.
They killed his
just-
family. Do you know what nationality he was supposed to be?
Stoic.
Stoic is not a nationality. That is
Oh,
a character
nationality.
trait. Yeah.
I thought you said personality. Sorry. I was like, well, I know.
Violent?
Germanic?
They call him it all the time. He's a Spaniard. Spanish. His one.
He did not seem Spanish.
Well, I know, but they in a few times they called him the Spaniard. They killed his family because Joaquin Phoenix wanted his loyalty and he wouldn't give it. So they took him out to get him killed. But as they did that, they said, "Well, you know where he lives. Go take care of that."
Well,
But he even says at one point, he's there. I am the husband of a murdered wife and a father of a murdered son. When he's in the ring.
so I think they would do this with high up religious officials, like, prior to them having a family already.
Mm-hmm.
So they would make them like eunuchs so that they didn't have to contend with their children. You know what I mean? It is a very astute, though brutal political, tactic.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, now we don't have to worry about him having a spouse that becomes an issue, or a kid who will maybe be an heir to the or claimant to the throne. Brutal, but it makes sense. And
I did a lot of brutal things.
obviously, Joaquin Phoenix's character was a huge dick, so it seems pretty on
Well,
brand.
I mean, but in no offense, but in those times, I mean,
that wasn't even that bad.
I mean, you would do that. It's like he's a general. I've killed my father, the king. Happens all the fucking time in history, and I want the loyalty of, our greatest general, and he won't give it to me, so I'll kill him and his family. That's just how things were done.
To be fair, killing someone's family is generally not how you get their loyalty after the fact, though. I know it's kind of like punishment. He wasn't trying to win the loyalty with it, but it's actually a better way to make an enemy than
you would think,
a
right?
friend. I'm gonna go Django, Unchained. Have you said you had not seen this? It is revenge. Django is Jamie Foxx. He is a slave. He gets freed somehow via the plot, which I won't spoil. And Leonardo DiCaprio is a devious and evil slave holder. And he gets his, maybe not. I don't know. Also, Samuel L. Jackson is I can't say the word, but he's a house slave. But you know the word I wanted to use, but I can't. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, maybe it's a bad thing, and maybe the movie makes him pay as well. So, good revenge, ultra violent.
That was well, I didn't see it, but I mean, I know that's a revenge movie.
You should watch it.
Is it Django's wife? Is he trying to get his wife back?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leo, his plantation.
Yeah.
His wife.
Right.
The bride.
Okay. Gangs of New York.
Oy vey, yes.
That's a revenge movie.
Yeah, it is. Leo's dad was Liam Neeson. He's in the fight at the beginning.
Right.
And Daniel Day-Lewis kills the dad, Liam Neeson.
Yes, he does.
That was a badass beginning of a movie, man.
Yeah.
Ultra badass. And Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing in that film.
He is. He is so good. Very well, good movie in general.
Some people kind of shit on it a little bit.
Why? I didn't.
For
you
them,
can shit
it
on
seems
anything.
like they think that Cameron Diaz ruined it with her performance. And honestly,
people I've heard. I don't. What did she
barely
do?
remember her.
She
I mean,
didn't
I
have a-
remember parts, but I don't know.
I don't.
I think they probably just disliked that she had red hair in the movie.
Well,
I said it.
She's Irish. I mean,
I know. You know how those.
I mean,
obsessed
she was
fans
not-
can be, though.
she didn't rise to the level of having. Yeah,
She didn't rise to Leo or Daniel Day-Lewis, but God, if that's the bar, then
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're the leads.
I mean, those are two of the most iconic actors within the past
Oh, you mean just
30
as far
years.
as yeah? I mean, yeah, just Cameron Diaz. She's not fucking Brando. I mean, you know.
She's a solid actress.
Right. And that's the part. I mean,
Yeah.
she wasn't critical. I mean, she was in it.
There's so many things I really enjoy about that film. Two specifically is when the butcher has the anecdote about how he cut his own eye out and sent it to Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then when he beats Leo into a bloody pulp, he's like headbutting him after he gets basically caught
Yeah.
that he was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
It's powerful scenes.
I just don't think that him, he beat him. He would have beat him way worse than.
Probably.
I mean, he would have been crippled and
Yeah.
completely
it came across
disfigured.
pretty brutal, though.
Yeah.
But you are right. I mean, in real life, it would have been.
Would he have
Why?
let him live?
Yeah, why would he not kill him?
Yeah.
Or did he? I don't know. I mean, he would have branded him or something on the face. Is something worse.
Yeah.
You know, I can see what they were trying to communicate is that he would be disfigured facially. But
Yeah.
I mean, and you can't make Leo look ugly.
Well, you could, but they didn't want to.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. Good movie.
All right, you're gonna. I'm just gonna start it off at the top. This is another South Korean film because I know you would have got excited for it had I not mentioned that. It's called I Saw the Devil, and it's because this guy is supposed to be like an abomination of a human being type of serial killer. and he kills the wife of like a Japanese FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
And the agent is like, he devotes himself to making this guy's life a living hell, and just beats the fuck out of him, and just grievously injures him until the ending, and the ending is very climactic. But in so doing so he's basically like hurts him just enough so that he can get back on his feet again
and do it again,
and then do it again.
Yeah.
So, and like people do get caught in the crossfires because he's just letting him back out on the street. And he becomes, vigilante because they're like, first of all, he's not showing up to work, and they're trying to find the guy that he is fucking up all these times. So yeah, I mean, there's that storyline, and some innocent people get caught in the crossfire, which is cool for the moral thing. But yeah, the bad guy is such a bad guy, and the good guy is so badass. It's just kind of, from the very start, it's like the good guy, once he gets his hands on him, it's weird to see him like get the upper hand immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what are they going to do with the rest of the movie? And it's like, oh, he just keeps doing this to him,
Was it kind of a simple plot? I mean, it could be very good, but
yeah. You learn about how evil this guy is, his associates, and yeah, it is fairly simple.
There's a movie, or there's a couple here I really liked, and one that was really, people hate this movie. I don't know why. I've always liked this, called The Quick and the Dead.
Heard about that. It's a Western, yes?
Yeah, it's got Gene Hackman. It's got Leo's in it. He's very young looking in it. Sharon Stone. Oh, and the Gladiator. What's his name?
Oh, motherfucker. Give me a second.
I can't think of his name. But that's a huge cast.
And yeah, I mean, that's pretty... Russell Crowe.
And Russell Crowe's much younger then. I mean, it's an older movie.
Tobin Bell's in it.
Oh, really?
Jigsaw.
Yeah. I didn't know he was in it. I don't think it's a big role he has. But Gene Hackman kind of controls this town with his group. And they have, he decides to have like a shootout contest. Like a draw contest. Mm-hmm. It's like people sign up and stuff like that. And like somebody, the town wants to try to get rid of Gene Hackman because he's oppressing the town. And, that's what it's about. And Russell Crowe used to be like a shootist type, but then he became a pastor. So he like abhors violence and shit. But I don't know. I just really, really liked the movie.
I have it on my watch list, which I know you're going to make a joke about. But I've heard about it briefly.
I don't know why. I just, and I say I don't like Westerns. I loved this movie. I loved it. I don't know why. It was, to me, just, and there's some really good actors and actresses in it.
Yeah, it's actually surprising that it's not more popular considering how great that cast is.
Yeah, I mean, there's been really good casts in bad movies before.
Well, yeah, that's true. But it wasn't looked upon as like a what the hell happened here type of movie, right?
Yeah, because I don't think it was big budget, even though they had big stars. Like this is before Russell Crowe really became anything.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone may have been at the time. Hackman was Hackman.
Well, and
Leo was very young, so he wasn't either.
Yeah. While you look up, unless you have anything further to add.
No, I just really, really liked it. I don't know, that's all I could say about it.
Taxi Driver.
Is it?
He gets revenge on the pimp.
You know who the pimp is?
Harvey Keitel.
Correct.
Shit, Jesus.
Yeah.
I couldn't say that. Yeah. And the scum of New York City.
Yes. Yes, he was.
I'm going to learn his speech that he gives to himself. Do you remember there's a scene he's writing and it's narrated by De Niro as he's like working out.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the pull-ups.
Yeah.
Putting his arm over the flame for whatever reason. He's like, listen up, you fucking scum, you dirtbags. I need to learn that so I can just quote
I know.
it out of nowhere.
I know. I do remember it. Yeah. He gets somebody in a convenience store is trying to steal. Remember that? Do you remember that scene? Somebody was trying to steal from a convenience store, and I don't know if he shoots him. I think he shoots him. And then, he was going to do something else, and the convenience store owner was Oriental or Asian. And said, no, I'll take care of it. And the guy just starts beating them with a stick. No, I'll take care of this.
It's such a great movie because, and I think I need to watch it again. I felt like
Sam Raimi directed The Quick and the Dead.
Maybe that's why it's on my watch list. So I've been wanting to watch more of his movies. He's done like The Evil Dead. He's done the Spider-Man trilogy, and there's another one.
I thought it was very
Dark Man, and then that.
Yeah.
So there's like 8 that I would be interested in. But I guess so generally, even like really depressing films, I guess I was kind of not confused, but I'm like, yeah, he still seems like he's a bad guy.
Who?
Taxi Driver, De Niro, Travis Bickle. But he's painted as though he's the hero, and maybe that's commentary on society. In that,
I don't think it was supposed to be. There is no hero, in my opinion. It's the movie that it's not the classic movie in that sense. He did a good thing, okay.
But he's like kind of rewarded at the end, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and we as the audience know that he's actually not a good guy, or just very misguided, and just kind of happened to do a good thing. But and maybe it is that complexity, the real life complexities, that is what like makes it even better.
Whereas it's gray, he's not.
That's the real world. There will be people in the news who, if they did something like that, they'd be looked at as a hero. But I guess if you knew the real guy, you might be like, he's actually fucking nuts. Be like, you should have heard the speech he read to me.
The time when you like say, okay, he finally cracked, is when he shows up at the speech with a mohawk.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was such contrast because his bald head was so white,
and the hair was so dark.
And he's like, and they're all like, like if they know, it's like, there's something wrong with this guy. Keep an eye on him.
What you got next, big dog?
Did you ever see The Jackal?
No, I don't think so.
Bruce Willis, Richard Gere, it's probably someone else, is fucking good. Really good.
Okay, I found it.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Hired by a powerful member of the Russian mafia to avenge an FBI sting that left his brother dead. A psychopathic hitman known only as the Jackal proves an elusive target for the people charged with the task of bringing him down. A deputy FBI director, a Russian MVK major, and a jailed IRA terrorist. You can recognize him. Sidney Poitier is in that.
Oh, he's like royalty, acting royalty.
Yeah, he was in that one.
Unfortunately, he wasn't in probably enough films because he's just such a class act. He was like the Morgan Freeman of
his era,
20 years ago. Yeah,
of a bygone era. Anything more you'd like to say?
I would recommend that movie to someone. Now that's a remake, and obviously there's a series now called The Jackal. I don't know if there was another remake of the prior to the series. I don't think so. But anyway,
A
it's
dream
serious
within
matter.
a Taco Bell within a Taco Bell Supreme.
Yeah, like that. But I saw the original too. The original was like, because I dug those kind of movies when I was younger, like espionage, international espionage, and
But you're not a Bond fan.
I was.
Oh, you were? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Bond. I loved it. But and then there was other ones. So and that was actually one of them, was the Jackal. That was probably my premier international espionage movie, and it had to do that version with, I think it was to kill Charles de Gaulle, who was French, and the people doing it were angry at him for pulling out of Algiers.
Oh, yeah, I know about the Battle of Algiers with
Yeah.
French.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean it was a colony, and then they were fighting.
The Day of the Jackal, is that the one you saw?
I'm sorry, that's it. The Day of the Jackal.
That's actually very highly acclaimed. 3.9 on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Edward Fox, Terrence Alexander, and Michael Auclair. I'm not familiar with those names, but
To be honest, I don't know any of those guys' names either, and it was just really super cool.
yeah, and this is DadMan's diss track for the guy who said you didn't have deep cuts, because I think
Well, I forgot them.
you're bringing the smacketh down on this one.
Well, it's like when I talk about the Dogs of War. That's a deep cut,
Mm-hmm.
but that is in my actual memory. But the Jackal is one I don't think about that often. Although the remake, like I said, it's super good too, very good.
This is one you haven't seen, but I'm sure a lot of viewers have seen, and if you haven't, well, check it out. Carrie by Brian De Palma. Not the remake. Don't even get me started on the remake. But Carrie, I mean,
The original?
fuck yeah.
Did you think I didn't see Carrie?
I thought you said you never saw it.
No, my God.
Oh, well, then you
It's
know.
like almost
yeah.
like you had to see that movie. It was one of the.
I was surprised. Yeah, I was
You mean that with
taken aback.
um?
Sissy Spacek.
Oh my God, yes.
And,
John Travolta.
yep, who is,
Gay.
I was going to say homosexual, but gay also works, yes.
Okay. I mean, I don't give a shit about that. I mean, I
I
like
wish, well, not
Oh,
wish.
shit.
I'm glad he finally came out.
I didn't know he came out, but you know what?
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe we just all figured.
Maybe I just think he's gay. If you're out there and you're not, sorry.
He's allegedly gay.
I think about that. You know what? I am so glad that has the stigma that it used to have. I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
Freddie
he's a
Mercury.
fucking good actor.
Yeah, then they have to hide it. They
Yeah.
have to hide a big part of their life. Freddie Mercury, people basically knew, but I think that the discrimination against gays just affected his life to the point where he couldn't even, be happy. And he was,
Really? I thought he was.
well, and I heard a quote or an interview or something. We were talking about him, and he just, and he said something to that effect. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I would hope that he lived a
I thought
good,
it was
happy life.
the HIV that made him not as happy.
Well, okay, he died from that, but you could have a happy life up until that point.
Well, I thought he was. But I guess if you
Well,
read
no,
differently.
but he was still discriminated. Queen.
Yeah, true.
Like I didn't see the movie, but I saw a clip from it. Like they're doing an interview, and that's all they wanted to talk about was, not that they came out with this incredible album that people love. They want to talk about whether or not he's gay, and it's like,
yeah.
it's you look back at it now, it's like, what the fuck? Who cares, man?
Valid point.
And I'm not like, well, I'm not a super liberal, but that just, it probably made his life so much more unhappy, because of that.
Untenable, is that the word you were looking for?
Untenable, A and B. No.
I have an accent.
I have a speech impediment. Quit making fun of me.
Oh, yeah. But back to Carrie. And, no, I wasn't supposed to be offensive towards John Travolta.
Sorry, Johnny.
Most minorities love me. So I'm allowed to make fun of them. Anywho, Carrie, the blood scene and
The bucket.
the aftermath is just fucking
It's awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
And they remade it. It's
That's
like,
revenge.
You know what? You could have remade it with better special effects whenever they did it, 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Just a complete, total, just copy line for line, everything. And I would have liked it. But I don't know what they did. It was just so stupid.
I think part of it, I don't know, maybe this is just me being like such a fan of the original. I just don't, there's not a world that I think it is done better. I think actually just the fact that it was made during that time period when films actually looked good.
Yeah.
Is a huge fucking plus because it looked good, you know?
But
and
just,
the culture was different. Bullying was so much more real.
Yeah.
I mean, at least from what I've seen in movies and from what I experienced in real life, you wouldn't get bullied like that anymore. You know, and teachers couldn't deal with bullying like that anymore. And everyone would have been suspended if anything happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not pro bullying. I'm just saying that's integral to the fucking plot, you know?
Yeah.
That
Although they're still pretty, you know, they just have to maybe be a little more discreet and secretive about how they do it.
Like, I'll be online bullying.
Yeah.
And then the whole story is different. And so, and I like it because you're always on guard as to if the guy she went to prom with and the girl who's dating the guy are actually fucking with her or not.
Yeah, I know. Although I know what you mean, but to me, I most immediately trusted
the girl,
both of them.
Oh, see, I wasn't sure.
I really think the girl. I mean, they were just like, we feel bad for this girl, you know, and we're willing to not attend the prom together for her sake. And I thought it was like
going to be a huge reveal.
And had they turned on her, that I would have been like, oh God, you know.
That's what they could have done.
Yes, they could have.
It probably would have been.
Oh, yeah, not have these other folks behind the scenes trying to.
It would have been really like screwed turned the screws just.
Or have those people in the background maybe trying to do this, but somehow they get thwarted.
And the people are the ones who So if you guys want to hire us for
script, we rewrite scripts, baby. We rewrite them. Nobody uses them, but we can do it.
What do you got next?
Oh, I got Tombstone.
Hey,
I like that movie.
It's a great movie. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell's fucking. He's a real guy's guy.
Yeah, the guy's actor.
Remind me, they're robbers, and that's who they get revenge on with the shootout at the OK Corral. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Because.
What did they do to get revenge? And I apologize. I know I'm asking, and you might not.
Okay,
remember.
so Kurt Russell is Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
And he comes.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that's what Val Kilmer says.
Yeah, I don't know. What does that term mean? I've heard that. I don't know what it means. Does it mean I'll be your sidekick?
Best friend? Yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, Val Kilmer says it to a guy that he ends up killing.
You know, I only read the Spark Notes of Huckleberry Finn, so I'm assuming that's what it's from. Huckleberry Finn?
Oh, well, the name, yeah. Well, Huckleberry was his friend, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's what it means. But I guess he didn't mean it in the same. He meant it satirically or facetiously or whatever.
There's some really good dialogue. Did you? Well, I know you didn't pick up on this because neither did I. Someone explained it. The scene where they're doing the gun tricks.
Yeah, and then Val's doing it with a cup.
And then they speak Latin to each other. And they're like talking shit the whole time they're speaking Latin. I don't know if you pick up on it. Was like some really good. I didn't.
It wasn't that long ago that I rewatched it. I did not.
We watched it together.
Okay.
We were on vacation.
Okay. All right. And then, So yeah, well, let's shoot at OK Corral, which is famous. And he was a well, like there was the gang,
Mhm.
okay, and one of the persons in the gang was Stacy Keach,
Okay.
okay. I don't know what they did. They did. I don't know. They didn't like each other. Let's put it that way.
I watched another film that is basically about the OK Corral called My Darling Clementine, which is also very good.
Oh,
I actually, depending on, I'd have to give Tombstone another chance. You could argue that it's better.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, I liked it because Kurt was in it. I like Stacy. I love Stacy Keach.
I love Kilmer.
I like Kilmer. I
For
love Kilmer.
a short stint of time, I think it was because it was the only one I'd seen. He was my Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a lot to do with when I grew up.
Yeah.
Um,
Shit, I forgot he was Batman.
I know.
So Michael Keaton was the first.
Well,
Major
blockbuster film.
Yeah, of the modern era. Whatever.
Yeah. And then Val Kilmer, and then George Clooney, and then Bale, and then Pattinson.
There may have been another one in there.
Well, Ben Affleck.
Oh.
He didn't have his own Batman movie. It was Batman versus Superman, and then Justice League. But there was no Batman proper.
Okay.
All right, next one. Again, another one you're not going to like. Apologies. It is actually, it's called the Vengeance trilogy that Oldboy is a part of. There's another film. There's Lady Vengeance. And there is a very bad man. You're a very bad man. This chick, she's sent to prison. She gets revenge on this guy who was doing bad stuff to a lot of students, I want to say. I forget how the plot actually unravels, but spoiler alert. So again, same protocol. Skip to the next movie poster. I think he ends up abducting children and killing them. She finds this out. It has something to do with why she was wrongfully imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
And basically gets all the parents together as this guy's tied up. And she's like, do whatever you want to him.
Apparently she gets out.
Yeah, after 13 years, and they fucking brutalize this guy and end up killing him. And she's very cool with it. But
the end.
Yeah. Great revenge, and a really cool visual thing that's done is the movie starts in absolute color, very picturesque, popping colors, and as you get closer and closer to the end of the movie, it gets
turned on
more
saturation.
Yeah, it basically is black and white by the end of the movie. What's you got next?
See, is this my last one? Taken.
Never seen it, but I think everyone, even those who have not seen it, are familiar with.
Yeah. A very special set of skills.
Yeah. Liam Neeson, I'm glad he got his day in the sun as a major lead.
True.
Because he's such a good actor. Doesn't get enough credit, even still.
He's in a lot of bad movies, though. I mean, not maybe bad, but they're just kind of mediocre to good of, the action hero type.
Well, yeah, I think
it's like Jason Statham. I mean, so many that are just so forgettable.
He was in his I'm going to make some money now.
And good for him. He deserves it.
Yeah. Because those action movies, I mean, he had been established as a star with Taken, which is artistically not his best movie, but probably his biggest payday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, after that, he probably got, but close to it, yeah.
And then they're like, hey, man, we have something similar.
Bankable. Let's do him.
Yeah.
He was in Rob Roy. That was a pretty cool movie.
And Rob Roy is from Scotland.
Scotland.
Which I never thought. I thought Rob Roy was from a more sophisticated part of the world. No, I'm kidding.
Someplace where they don't eat haggis.
Well, I mean, fuck it. I was being honest, yeah. Rob Roy's a drink.
Yeah.
I know Scottish people drink a lot, but it's a fancy drink, and they're slobs and Neanderthals there.
They were back then.
You should see the women.
Whoa. See, what happened with the women issue is...
They look like they never evolved past our last evolution.
Okay, they're not that bad. But
Thick
they were
foreheads.
raided... Shut up. By the Vikings, and the Vikings took all the pretty ones and left the other ones. That is what happened.
So that's why the Scandinavian countries are so attractive and why Scotland is so ugly.
Correct.
You ugly bunch. I'm not... That's the... Dude, I think in the last 2 minutes I've found a way to completely piss off... Scotland Yard. That's where I came from Scotland.
No, you don't.
Scotty
You
Yard.
couldn't find it on a map.
Now, well, the joke there is that's part of England, yes. Yes or yes.
It's not now.
Scotland Yard?
Oh, Scotland Yard, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
Scottish,
fooling with you guys. I'm just ribbing you. I'm trying to get you pissed off.
Don't get us
love
Scottish angry.
Scottish people are cool. Probably up there with, like, Australians is, like, one of the coolest nationalities.
Yeah.
Ireland is up there. I know the
Irish, Scottish, English, some of them, some no. Australians.
Now England is...
Well, that's their
half
politics.
of them aren't even England.
Yeah, that's our politics.
I didn't even say that right. I can't speak anymore.
I know.
I'm
It's
punch
weird that
drunk.
you do a podcast and you just have such...
I tell you what,
words.
though, man. Sometimes you come in with so much energy, and then near the end of recording, it's like your egg gets scrambled.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't think straight.
That's a for sure there.
Yeah, but I know Irish people don't like Scottish people, or they at least don't like to be confused with one another.
Who knows?
Strong nationalities. See, here's the thing. I never had to face that because America is like, they're like,
you can't hate
you're,
me. I'm American.
You're,
What are you talking
you're
about?
from America, aren't you? I'm like, you damn right.
Yeah. We don't like them. What are you talking about? We saved your asses at least a couple times.
We don't get mixed up with
I don't
Canada.
even know where you're from.
Canadians get mixed up with us.
Yeah.
They got that
we're
silly,
Canadian, eh?
Well, yeah, the
We're
silly
not
accent
from
makes it
that
easy.
silly United States, eh? We like our maple syrup.
Here's one. This is actually very, very interesting, and I think you will be...
Interested.
Yeah, I think you're going to be interested. So, it's in English. Lars von Trier. Nicole Kidman leads. Paul Bettany, are you familiar with him? Stellan Skarsgård. Philip Baker Hall. Any of those names ringing a bell?
Skarsgård guy, I think I know.
Yeah. So it's called Dogville. Lars von Trier. Anywho, Nicole Kidman wanders into, and it's really, here's the art house element to it, okay? The one strange thing that you're going to be like, why the fuck did they do this? And I don't have an answer. So when you make a set, you'll blueprint it on the ground as to where...
You mean like for a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the walls will go, and you label it all.
Yeah.
That's the set. Is the chalk on the floor
They don't have an actual set?
Instead of actual walls.
Okay.
So you can see everyone the whole time, even if they're indoors.
Okay.
It just worth
I hate it
mentioning because
already.
you'd be like, why did they do that? And I wouldn't have an answer for you. So anywho, she stumbles into this town, and I'm trying to think. It feels like a fairy tale in a way, or there is a moral at the end of the story where they treat her really poorly because she's a fugitive and they can get away with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They end up finding out that, she was fleeing here for whatever reason. And people are like, okay, well, we'll house you. And the women begin to really dislike her because all the men like her. and the men begin to take advantage of her because she can't do anything. And at the end, I mean, someone gets revenge because it's top 10 revenge. It ends up, she wasn't really fleeing crime. Her dad's a mob boss, and she just wanted to get away from him for a respite.
Okay.
And he fucking burns the place to the ground and shoots everyone. It's amazing. It's Philip Baker Hall. He is the librarian cop from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mob
Mr.
boss
Bookman.
dad. Yeah, Mr. Bookman. You would still like it, even knowing it all. It's because, what is that called? It's not a fable. A fable is something different. It feels very much like a fable. Where it's like, hey, don't abuse power when you have it because you never know when you won't have it.
I guess that'd be a fable,
Yeah. What do you got next?
That's it. I'm out.
All right. This one I already talked to you about. I know I can't sell you on it, but hopefully my inclusion lets you know how serious I am. Rolling Thunder. This guy gets fucking screwed over. He's a Vietnam vet.
William Devane.
Him and Tommy Lee Jones decide to fucking waste these bastards, and they do. And it's just tremendous.
I could see watching it.
It makes you want the bloodshed, and it slowly...
He's missing a hand, though, right?
Yeah, they put his hand in a garbage disposal. Which I thought was cool. You thought was stupid. I don't know. That's brutal to me. I mean,
did I say it was stupid?
Yeah. Well, so the guy, okay. The guy was a POW. So he had been tortured for years, and they're trying to get. He was given like fucking $5,000 in silver dollars, and they want to know where the money is, and they're like, "Tell us, or you're losing your hand." And he is just
no way.
Yeah, I think it's because he's like, dude, you can't torture me.
Right.
So he loses the hand. Next one, Sam Peckinpah is a fucking... Ooh, he is a good director. Straw Dogs with Dustin Hoffman. These people think... Well, his wife ends up getting raped. And then
I saw the remake of this.
Then they're trying to invade his home.
Yeah.
And Dustin Hoffman ain't having that.
I saw the remake.
He defends his home. It does speak to
were
kind
they
of
football players?
No, they were just towns. They were helping him
do his barn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, if they played football, it was very... I mean, it would have been soccer, too. And it would have been very brief.
Was that set in a different country?
Ireland.
Oh.
Oh, it was the remake in America.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is...
Watch the original.
What in this one? What do they call them? Straw dogs? Because I understand why they do in my version.
I don't know.
I can't. Well, I guess I don't exactly. It's a straw dog is something that doesn't have it, like in warfare. Like they
doesn't have teeth.
Well, it's not an actual. It's not going to come running out and bite your head off because it's a straw dog. It's just to give the appearance of things. But for some reason, he talked about football, and these are former football players. And his wife used to go to school with them, and he moved down there, and they're redoing the barn, and
yeah, very similar. And the guy, it's almost like he's regaining his authority as the head of the domicile.
Mm-hmm.
And as the head of the household.
Yeah. What was his profession in this movie?
He was a mathematician.
Okay. In this one, he was he was a writer.
Yeah. So they took some...
Yeah. I mean, they're both
liberties.
like academics.
Yeah. Really, really like it. Because they all look at him as like this fucking pushover nerd.
Yes, right.
And he ends up housing... So he finds out about the grape at some point. But he also houses someone who also... he maybe never realized his wife got assaulted. Mm-hmm. But a young girl gets assaulted, and he finds his way to this guy's house, and they're like, let us in the fucking house now. And he'd been dicked around by these guys so bad, he's like, I'm protecting my house. I don't care who's in here. It's my choice to house them, I guess. Which isn't the right side of history that you want to be on, but he picked his hill to die on, and damn it, he was going to die on that hill. But to see the snap of someone to go from meek and mild to this is what I'm capable of. Yeah. I figure he's probably a straw dog because he was a man without teeth who was forced to become a real dog.
Oh yeah, okay, that would in my version, it's Marston.
Yeah,
is the guy, but he gets a bear trap. He puts it on the guy's head.
That might be in the original.
Really?
That might be. He gets real crafty.
Yeah.
And last but not least, John Wick.
Oh yeah.
Never kill a man's dog.
Never. Not John's anyway.
Yeah, he's the guy you call to kill the fucking boogeyman.
Correct.
That's our list. Let us know the ones that you watch.
There's a lot out there we know. There's a lot of them.
Especially those classic ones. Let us know those classic ones.
Well, some you don't think of as, but they are.
Yeah.
Like Gangs of New York, I mean.
Let us know.
I guess it is.
Any number. Me specifically, though, I want to know, like, the Revenge-o-matic 70s deep cuts. I want to watch those.
Yeah.
And like
watch anything. Send them like the dumbest movies you can think of.
Well, don't trick me. I'm easily tricked.
Yeah, we know.
So don't tempt me with a good time. All right, everybody. Catch you on the flip. Bye.
Bye.